Well, here we are. It's Tuesday, I think. I'm retired. I don't know what day it is. This is the engine I took off the alternator, which is down there. It doesn't turn. This bracketry looks amazing. One of the big problems they did is that this, I don't want to touch it, it's all nasty. This bracket rubs this elbow. There's a ding in the elbow, and that it also bounces against this clip. So this needs to be actually rerouted different than this, possibly up over. Whoa. Yeah, I took that off. This is kind of funky. It's not too bad. I'll get this thing stripped off, and then once I get this bracket off, I'm going to level it up. And that's just basically dropping it to the ground, resetting my chain so that we're further down here to level it, and then I can work on getting the transmission and bell housing off. So yeah, the morning after, you can see there's still some glow, some shiny from the rust killer. Many places it's, even though I squirted it down last night, some places it doesn't have any rust to work, but here there was plenty of rust and it used it up. You can see that mount just like that. And you can see we actually have a dipstick holder. That filter there, that fuel filter, is sick. That's your primary. The main, the secondary filter is separate from that one. That's the oil filter. Front end. Overall, I think I'll need a flex plate for where you mount the starter, but we'll get to that once we get down to that point. So, well, okay, here she is, a little higher, giving these bolts some more rust remover, as some have not wanted to let loose. This transmission is this part. Bell housing is that part. And getting closer, I can identify bolts now, bolt heads. And that ball joint has got to come free sometime. Get the engine mounts off. I may have to use the impact on those if I can. And some of the excitement was that Jack decided to lose prime, and I couldn't get the engine popped up, so I had to reprime it. Ah, joy. I think take that heat exchanger or the exhaust off. Take this off. And that's the heat exchange. That's the exhaust going off to the wet muffler. And I suppose if I get that out of the way, it'll give me a little more room. That's the emergency stop right there. It kind of turns. That's one of the few things on here that works, almost. So, yeah. I'm trying to decide the attack method. I think the intake off, or the air intake off, that goes off. That'll give me room to get the injection pump out of there. And with the injection pump gone, that opens up the front, or opens up the side here. Yeah, so we'll just let her dribble away for a while. And I'll be taking this tank off. But I know it has antifreeze in it because some blurped out at me when I was moving this thing up and down and around. Like I said, I had to readjust the chain so it's a little more level. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Yeah. If there is a seal there, it's no longer around. Some of this you can see from yesterday, the rust came off and it left a white coating there. So here she sits for a couple hours. Well, here he is. It's about 5 o'clock. After roughly 4+ hours of wrenching, I have the heat exchanger off, alternator off, thermostat off. Got a lot more of the rust buster, PB blaster, and there's a rust dissolver or whatever stuff from one other company. I've got that in the bolts. What I need to do tomorrow is down here. I need to find bolts that will fit those bolt holes, so I can put this on the engine mount, put it on the engine stand, and then I can get a grip somehow on the transmission and the bell housing and remove it. The transmission is attached to the bell housing from inside, I think. That's what I can tell from the diagram. So I've got to get in there somehow, hook that up, and get this thing on the stand. And there are bolt holes here. You can see them. They're threaded, as you can see. That one is. So they're threaded for that. I just need to pull. Actually, yeah, I think I'll pull this one, take it down to the store, see about getting a couple of these and putting them there. That looks like an alternate dipstick location. I did break the tank free enough to get a couple millimeters or a millimeter of space in there. So I'm letting those soak some more overnight. I'm actually starting to see threads instead of corrosion. So I'll give them one more shot tonight, because this tank just slides off. You just take the tank and it slides off. And then once I get that done, I expect once I get that off, I'll be able to be pretty fast about taking the rest of it apart. The one thing I don't have, and I still don't have, and I searched for, is a way to get that stupid thing off. That, I guess it's a balancer or pulley type thing. And on Sisu, I had to cut the bull nose off so I could get something on there to try and turn it, but it didn't turn, it seized. So that's about it. Realized I hadn't done an engine in almost 20 years. So this feels good, getting the stink, getting the goo, getting all the fun stuff of playing with engines. Yeah. Bet none of these, but that thing's frozen. What I need to do is squirt that down. I'll do that tonight. That way the valve train will be ready to take out tomorrow. Get all that stuff off the side. Get the head off. Turn her over and clean her out. And she had clean water in the exchanger. The heat exchange had clean water. So that was nice. It also had clean antifreeze, and there was clean antifreeze. There's some kind of goo in there. I'm not sure what it is. It's probably additive they put in. But all that's done. Yep. There's nothing in the oil pan. So all the water that's in there is, anything that's in there is now going to be in the combustion chamber and whatever's in here. So I'll clean all that out. And with any luck, I'll be looking at a clean block tomorrow. But I think I'm just going to up and order a complete rebuild from Kubota. I also need to find a way to fix this plate. It rotted out there. And that's probably from just dripping. That wasn't from the seawater bath. That was just the way things had been going with that thing for years. Nasty looking oil fuel filter. So folks, that's it. I'm going to cover it tonight. And then tomorrow's supposed to be a nice day. I'll get back at it. See if I can get further than 4 hours. Considering this is the first time in almost 20 years, I'm having fun. So that's a wrap for tonight. This is Tuesday night. More later. Stay tuned. Stay on this channel.